Hello everybody, Nima is here. I'm back with more shoulder mobility exercises for you guys. Today is Tuesday, April 21st. So I've got 3 exercises for you. The first one, we are going to peel off all these tissues around your first rib. So your first rib is the insertion point for your pectoralis minor and pectoralis major, which are the rotators for your shoulders. We are going to peel that off. So when you are going the opposite way, you are going to have better range of motion. So when you are doing your shoulder extension, when you are going to this position, you are going to have better range of motion and better mobility. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, we are going to smash right here, this area, your armpit area, which is actually where you have 2 really important groups of muscle, your tres and your lats, which are also rotators for the shoulder. We are going to do a really good PNF stretch under mobility. So it is going to definitely give you better range of motion in your shoulders. And number 3, we are going to do a really awesome stretch for, with that stretch, you can get better internal rotation in your shoulder. So let's get to work. Number 1, as I said, we are going to peel off all these tissues over here. So I hope you can see this notch over here. Under this notch is where I have my first rib. So I'm going to use this piece of PVC. This end of my PVC is gonna go against the wall, all right? The other end is gonna go right here in the notch. Now, first of all, I'm going to let you know, this is going to be super uncomfortable. So if you see some funny faces, don't laugh at me, because if you do it, probably you do the same faces. So I'm going to get this end right here, and I'm going to be a little bit gentle and light. I'm gonna go slow. I have my leg bent because I'm going to push that way against the pipe, so the pipe can go in and hit the right with the right spot. Perfect. Now I have my arm extended, my palm is facing the ground. I'm going to actually hold the pipe here so it doesn't pop out, and then I do my extension. Oh my Lord. Honestly, this is definitely still uncomfortable, but definitely less uncomfortable compared to the first time I did this in the morning. I was practicing it to talk about it in the video. So in the morning, it was super duper uncomfortable. Now, I've done some really good job. It's not as uncomfortable. And honestly, when I was raising my arm, I could actually go so much harder. So that was number 1. You're going to keep doing this with this pipe right here in the notch for 2 minutes, right? It is 2 minutes of having a very, very uncomfortable thing to do. So that was exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, I'm going to get rid of this pipe. I have a very light band here, and I have attached it to the bottom of this vertical post. All right, it has to be very light, all right? I'm going to use my peanut as well. Now, what I'm going to do, if you remember, I'm going to smash all these muscles in this area. So again, it is going to give me more range of motion when I'm going over my head. So I'm going to have the band in my hand like this, or have my hand in the band. Both ways would make sense. Now, this peanut is gonna go right under my armpit, like this. I'm going to move down a little bit so you can see my hand as well. Perfect. So I'm going to start up high, right here. This is where I have my tres. Now I'm going to actually get a little bit closer to your to the camera, so I have better tension in the band. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the band and go to my hollow rock position. I'm going to have this hand, first of all, on the ground so I can hold myself up. So when I go to my hollow rock position, I don't fall. So hollow rock position is like this. I'm going to hold this for 5 seconds, and then I'm going to relax and let the band pull my arm back. All right? So when we say PNF stretch, we are talking about contract relax cycles. Hollow rock is my contract. I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds, and then I'm going to relax and let the band pull my arm back. And then, so I did it twice for this spot. I'm going to move up a little bit on the ball, so the ball goes like half an inch down, and I do the same thing. Hollow rock position, 5 second hold. Let the band pull. I did the first one, not the second, for the same spot. Hollow rock position, hold 5 seconds, and then let the band pull you. All right, I'm going to keep going until I get to the bottom end of my lats. All right, so I keep going, doesn't really matter how long it is going to take. Do twice for each spot. And of course, you are going to do it for the other side of your body. That was number 2. Number 3, this one, honestly speaking, is one of my favorite. It's a really good stretch. I'm gonna use this box. See that bar? I'm gonna use that bar. If you don't have a bar at home, just find something pretty solid and horizontal so you can hold on to it and it doesn't move. So this bar, I have adjusted it somewhere around my belly button, okay? I'm going to use this, another light band. You can use the same light band that you use for the PNF stretch. I'm going to double up my band. So I just need to make a cross in the band and then get the 2 ends together. Now I've got my band doubled up. So I'm going to put my arm in, and then the second arm is gonna go in. Now the band is behind me, right? See? The band is behind me. It is really important, especially for this exercise, to use a very light band because you are going to have your elbows at locked position, all right? If the band is harder, you cannot have your elbows locked, all right? So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, I'm going to go and grab the bar, and I'm going to be able to move my arms away from each other. Again, if the band is too hard, I cannot do that. So it's really important that you guys do this exercise or do this stretch with a light band. So I'm gonna just do what I told you. Rule 1, elbows locked. Rule 2, create some tension in the band. Now, I'm holding onto my bar. I'm pushing my sternum out. Now, as I'm holding myself in this position, I'm going to sit in the bottom position of my lunge. See this? I'm still pushing my sternum out. Already, I'm feeling that stretch. In front of my shoulders going into my arms. So basically, it's a perfect stretch for the longer end of your biceps. This is perfect. How long am I going to stay in this position? That's right, 2 minutes. Now, when I'm going to get out of this position, I just need to get off my lunge position, and then that's it. So, 3 exercises. The first one, we peeled off all these tissues around the first rep, so which is going to help us do a better and more effective shoulder extension because the range of motion is going to be larger. The second one was an PNF stretch for these rotators here, under mobility for your chest and your lats. And also the third one was a stretch for basically the longer side of your biceps because the insertion point would be right here in front of your shoulder. You're actually stretching the insertion point, and the stretch goes through your arm, which is definitely good. The third one is going to give you some internal rotation back. Do it at home. Let me know how you do. Let me know how it works for you. I'll be back on Thursday with another, I believe I'm going to do shoulder mobility again. I'm going to come back with another 3 shoulder mobility exercises for you. Stay tuned. Today is going to be warm and beautiful. Go out for some walk and don't forget social distancing. Take care. Bye now.